All right, my lovely little lichlings. We're gonna get started here with starting off. Do you want to start off with the what happened last week, or do you need to start off with the retcon?
Let's start with the retcon really quickly. Retcon is that they did not find they did not find hoof prints on the ground. They found boot prints on the ground, and they retconned that they did not message Mordak, the ranger that found them originally. That was just the only retcon. It doesn't. What I was trying to say was it. Uh, it doesn't exonerate her completely of being suspicious, but it also doesn't condemn her immediately. It doesn't condemn her, but it doesn't make her not a suspect. That's what I was trying to get at. So the question still remains: who is it? Who are these boot prints? All right,
Who's, a,
and
who's the
yep,
mama?
who is the mama? Of course. And where are we? We're doing. I guess we'll start with this. Brad Muad'Dib, tell us what happened last time.
I was hoping you guys were gonna forget about me and we're just gonna roll right into it.
When have we ever done that?
Never. I can still hope. So we started the session walking into a wide cavern. I want to say with remnants of an old civilization, but it's remnants of the current civilization that they just kind of gave up on for one reason or another. We did a little bit of probing for magical items and magical traps. And someone found a magical fishing rod, which Muad'Dib decided to use to fish, and found a reason why they might have left, as there was a very large plesiosaur that got hooked, and was very stubborn. Wanted to keep the fishing rod, so decided to fight for the reel in the fish, I guess. I don't know how you could reel in a plesiosaur, but it's beside the point. And during the fight, there were photoluminescent piranhas that also arrived, kind of muddy things up. Piranhas were easy to schwack. Diov teleported, phased the plesiosaur onto a stalactite.
Might.
Say might's the floor.
Yeah, it might reach the ceiling, and tights hang tightly to the ceiling.
Mites crawl on the floor.
Mine was perfectly logical, Jesse.
I'm just saying I've heard it different, but that's fine.
Then Kaelor started to hear some voice speaking to him, which eventually turned out to be some frogs who wanted us to get cave cheese.
Delicious cave cheese.
Yes. The reason they wanted us to do it is because of glowworms that like to eat the frogs or anything that goes by. We were able to bypass the glowworms. Found a mound of cheese, which dubious quality, I have to say. And along with the cheese, there was also a lifelike dragon frog doll that is magical. I think it's a flashlight. I don't remember if we fully identified it. If we did, I don't remember what it is.
Oh, we totally should have seen if that was like familiar to the child monster.
Oh, we did identify the fraggin.
Fraggin. Yes, you did.
Well, we delivered the cheese to some cheese to the frogs. Kept some cheese for ourselves. They told us where to find the Rat King, who we then traveled to find. He was in caves, well, we're all in a cave system. In a different part of the cave system, I believe it was like in a abandoned village.
It's like a
Um,
fishing area, fishing village.
Yeah. The Rat King is named Jack, and he used to live in Seraphor. And he told us that there is a large creature, I believe he referred to it as a Grendlekin, that was blocking the rats' way into the forest, so they were being forced to forage further and further up in the plateau. So we agreed to take care of the Grendlekin for him because we thought we could probably handle it. So we left to go take care of it, came into a room that was seemingly empty, but definitely was the nest of this monster. And as Diov picked up a book, the Grendlekin showed up, but we were able to calm it down by reading from the book, which was Adventures of Sir Squeaky the Brave by Brian Jacks.
Unrelated to the Mutant King.
Unrelated. And so we were trying to figure out what to do with the Grendlekin when a loud noise came from the jungle, and he kind of sprinted, lumbered off toward the sound, and now we're there.
I should mention there was like a 4 to 5 hour gap period from when you were like waiting and to when the very high pitched sound that Bhranti picked up and the Grendlekin picked up, and it rushed out very quickly from the cave, and you guys were just about to chase after when Spider arrived. Spider, what do you say?
Oh God, there were frogs and rats, and I had to tell them I was working with you guys. Thank God they listened to me. Okay, what did I
You guys
miss?
heard of this thing called cave cheese? These things were cracked up out there.
What? I've heard of
s-
cheese, but what? Why are you handing me cheese?
Cave cheese.
Probably don't need
Good
it yet.
cheese.
But I did sing to a giant baby, put it down for a nap, and now it
You
took
mean
off.
bigger than me and Drago's babies?
I like point to the nest to kind of demonstrate the size.
What are you talking, like a baby dragon?
It looks like it was a baby minotaur that had runes embedded in it to make it gargantuan.
Oh, poor thing.
He was very sweet.
Well, I mean, I don't know much of what's happening right now, but I'm here to help.
I think
What are we looking for?
the plan was to run out into the danger zone and find out whatever is calling this thing.
Sorry.
Okay. Okay. No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm just catching up is difficult, and I'm still confused why you handed me cheese. But let's go.
It's delicious.
We just said
Magically
not
so.
to eat it.
It's magical.
Well, not yet.
What do I want to know? What's magical about it?
What is its
Gives you
exact properties?
epic
It's like
advantage on something.
yeah,
Okay.
just a bit
I'm a little-
magical.
Okay.
Like basically epic inspiration.
How did they not like exploit this to 9 hells up there?
Oh, they weren't able to get it on their own.
Oh, lazy bastards. Okay. Shall we?
You guys
We
head
shall.
out from the cavern and you enter the humid, dense forest. The here we go. Namakwa jungle. You can see that the roots and vines are tangled all around every single tree, and to the perceptive eyes, can actually see growing movement of plants. It's very slow, but it is most certainly faster than bamboo growing, and you can actively see it all throughout this area. Things are growing, moving, twirling, twisting, etc., creating lots of different types of flowers and flora. You hear a multitude of different animals, insects mostly, maybe a few birds here and there, tweeting and cawing about.
Yeah, I'm
This
assuming
is
all of the large beasts in this area have been eaten.
you guys can hear all these different insects and things. You can hear just the wind through the high canopy. You don't feel much wind down here. It's actually pretty stagnant because of the density of the canopy and forest itself, but it is very much a temperate jungle of sorts, very humid, very warm, and you guys need to traverse through this section of the jungle. And I'm going to move you out to here.
I don't want to go into the scary woods.
The scary woods of death.
Yeah, they are scary woods of death.
Is there any indication by, toppled trunks or broken brush where this giant creature might be?
100%. There is definitely an easy path forward from what you can notice that and where things have broken and snapped and twigs have fallen and whatnot. Already you can see the plants beginning to reclaim that territory like it's a scarce resource. That extra little bit of space, those branches that are fallen, it's like boom. So you can already see little twigs and little seedlings beginning to get into that spot quickly. It's growing rather quickly.
Be like tracking in the snow. We better move quickly.
All right. I'm going to need everyone to roll initiative. We're going to do a skill challenge.
Oh,
Oh boy.
I didn't bring forest waders.
I thought you were gonna say I didn't bring my skills, and I'd be like,
No, I unfortunately left those at the bar. I need to go back.
Oh, also, Bhranti, I don't believe you ever rolled your dice for the short rest.
Oh, I sure didn't. Thank you.
Good catch.
Why didn't that go in? I was selected myself.
It may have been me. I was adjusting Spider and
Sorry.
no, it's okay. I added him.
Me too. What the heck? What the heck?
Again, I was adjusting Kaelor, so again.
Your
What the frickety crack?
Alright, everyone is good now. Let's get some exciting music. Let's see. How about
Why am I
something
at 5?
God damn it. Why does it switch? I did this
No,
for
you did
Diov.
it for me instead. Oh, that's so much better. Now I have time to prepare.
Alright. So, during the skill challenge, certain skills are weighted higher than others, and other skills will have a higher DC, as you will have to try to explain to me how to use said skill. The skills that will be of higher value and have a lower DC of 20, those skills are, I would say, acrobatics, to not be tripping all around yourself, athletics, to run heavily through the thick forest, I would say nature, and then perception, and survival. Every other DC is a 24 if you use something other than those that I labeled, and I will type those out for you.
Thank
you.
you.
I was rolling hit dice. I did not hear what you just said.
All right. So, Spider, tell us what you do.
So I would like to use. I'm trying to think of how its survival would like using my past skills and knowledge of being out in the woods, I would do my best to try to find us a clear path. Would that?
Yeah.
Also, being out in the woods with two infant toddlers who like to climb trees and disappear.
Don't remind me.
Is there a mom roll?
Roll for mom, DC 10.
But would that work for survival, or would that be more of a perception?
Survival is definitely tracking. It's tracking things through the forest and
And
being
what are we
able
trying to
to-
track?
A
The
giant baby,
Grendlekin.
so you should be perfect
Oh
at this.
yeah, if I've seen
giant
those
baby.
tracks in the cave, I'm going to be like, even though the ground beneath me is probably getting overgrown with plants at the moment, I would love to try to search for those tracks in the forest
got it.
to see if I can find them.
Do you have advantage?
I don't have anything.
Did you eat the cheese?
No, I was told to wait.
All right, that is your first fail.
Sorry.
Bhranti. You're good.
I did
Uh,
just run a long ways, guys. I'm still a little out of shape. I haven't gone adventuring in a while.
and I was definitely drinking upstairs.
Maybe.
I would like to use my superior eyes and try and see, like, ahead of the line that we already had, if I can kind of see what direction the Grendlekin is headed.
All right, go ahead and give me a perception. Even though this forest is extremely dense and it's difficult to see ahead, you are able to make a pretty easy pathway. You can see the broken twigs. You can hear. You can probably still hear the brum 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 brum.
The galloping of him.
Yeah, you can probably hear the galloping of the Grendlekin, and you know he is heading due eastward. All right.
Okay, friends, let's go.
All right. Bhranti reaches out and turns Spider's head in the right direction. Exactly.
Oh, thank you. I'm not
Muad-
used to plants growing this quickly.
Fair.
Muad'Dib.
I'd like to use investigation, just as we continue to. I know this will really help now, but kind of remember a way back, since we're kind of just running pell-mell through the woods.
Oh, make sure, like, how to find your way back. You want to investigate if there's like any signs or landmarks or things of that nature to like make a mental note about.
Yeah, landmarks, since it doesn't seem like leaving a trail would really help at all.
Very good point. DC is 25. This will be very difficult to do. And you are able to notice little things here and there, particularly on the specific species of plants, as well as some of the rock formations, the color of the rock itself. You're not sure if this rock is prevalent throughout the entirety of the crater, or if it's only found in this area, but you make note of it, and you just kind of keep that to yourself. Hopefully this will come in handy, but otherwise it seems successful for now. All right, Kaelor, what skill do you use to make your way through?
Well, let's see if this is the right one. If not, I'll go for something else. I would like to start rapid firing fire bolts to try to help clear the path of brush, doing my best job to intimidate the rapidly moving plants that I am definitely a wildfire. I'm attempting to intimidate the plants.
Interesting. I don't think intimidation of the plant, like the plants don't understand
Okay.
intimidation.
Okay, I was assuming these were magical semi-sentient plants.
They might be. Some of them might be. You're not quite certain yet. I did say that all other DCs are 25. I think I'll allow this. There might be.
What
some
about a
sentient-
deception check?
I will
Or
allow an intimidation.
He could be intimidating the plants, but by default, intimidating predators that are around, and he just doesn't. It's not his goal.
Exactly, and that's what I'm trying to say is like maybe there are other things that you're not aware of yet, and you're just trying to be loud and obnoxious and scare off any potential predators.
I'm trying to convince the fauna of the forest that there is definitely a fire starting to emerge down this path we're heading on, and that can be big and scary, and they should leave.
Got it. Go ahead and give me. God damn it.
That's what.
Bravo! You scary, scary man.
All right. Gorgeous. Cool. So that is 3 and 1. That will be Diov next.
All right. So as part of my epic feat, Mystic Sage, I got access to the Druid spell list. So could I use my knowledge of the druidic arts and roll an Arcana check to basically magically keep the plants from growing fast enough that we lose our
Prevent them from growing too fast to keep your trail.
or the trail that we're following?
So kind of like outstretch your hand, and all of the sections of the plants that are trying to take over the broken sections, you're like halting or at least slowing them down so that you have a little extra time to run through before they take over.
Yeah, maybe like I just sort of emit a magical force around us that is sort of like feels like the presence of plants already, so they sort of like are hitting that roadblock as we're walking.
Like a druid craft. It's kind of like druid craft.
Exactly.
Almost. Sure. DC 25 Arcana.
31.
Wow. You got okay. I need to raise these DCs. Damn it.
I don't.
That was great. All right. Back to Spider. What skill do you use to try and make your way through this forest?
Can I try doing survival again?
With disadvantage, yes.
I just.
It was
Nothing-
do not have good athletics.
Oh, I guess I could. I thought athletics was already spoken for. Okay, yeah. I'm going to do my best since I apparently am blind as a bat right now. To not trip over things and hopefully, keep my footing in this godforsaken jungle.
You also have a plus 13 to your history, which for whatever reason I have no idea about, but
Well-
you have a plus 13 to that in case you wanted to use
Yeah,
that.
I mean, I could use that too, but I don't know how history would help me.
That's where the imagination comes in, Sam.
I know. I'm thinking, Jesse. Could I use history in the sense of like, okay, what do I know about minotaurs and how they behave, or this particular foliage and where else I know it from?
What plants to wipe with? What plants to not?
What's a yum yum plant and what's a plant you can only eat once?
I will say, you probably learned in the tavern, you maybe overheard someone say something about the Namaqua jungle, and learning the history about the Namaqua jungle might be important.
Okay, learning about the history of the Namaqua jungle might be important.
All right, give me a history check about the Namaqua jungle.
Oh god.
Hey, look at that. Yeah, I will get to that history in one moment. So 5 to 1, and
Come on, Big B.
Okay. Namaqua jungle. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna have to do something that isn't on the list Jesse has put up because okay. Um. How can I religion the insight is one that I have that's high and so is Arcana. I feel like you can't insight things, right? You can only insight people.
You can get a general vibe of the forest.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of want to, as we're walking down the path that's been broken down by our little baby friend, I will try and see how the animals and plants are acting around this path. Like if they have taken off out of fear, or if they don't seem bothered at all. Like this is like a normal kind of beast that lives here.
Mm. All right. Have at it. All right. That is 5 to 2.
Hell yo!
Muad dib, it's all up to you. Literally stacked deck.
You see, you stayed that. Stayed that. Oh. Beans.
Every time
What
you
does
say
it
that, I
sound
just
like
start
fun?
going, beans, the magical fruit. The more you eat, the more you taste.
We need some nature to kind of get a groove how the forest is growing and see if it would make it easier to go one way or another while still trying to keep on the same path. Just trying to avoid the encroaching plants.
What skill are you trying to use?
Nature.
Nature. And you're trying to figure out what?
Like if since we can visibly see the plants growing, like if there's going to be one that is going to pop up in like maybe 30 feet into like our path to avoid tripping or something.
This is more an
Like
intelligence check for like understanding what plants you're looking at, if they're medicinal or harmful or poisonous or whatnot.
Nature is intelligent.
Yeah, it's an intelligent. Yeah, exactly.
Beans.
But I mean, learning
Yeah.
the species, you might like inform you
Yeah.
about what you're trying to do.
Yeah, see if we're gonna, run into poison ivy on steroids or something.
Sure, yeah, that'll work.
It's not very good.
A +5? You have to get a natural 20.
No,
yeah,
it would be a
'cause,
15.
I don't know how well deception's
Oh, yeah, nature,
gonna
that's
work against plants.
I mean,
Or
eh.
I
Anyway.
deceive plants.
with that, we are at 3 failures as a failure, and since Muad Dib was the one who did it, roll me a D100, please. Hope for low.
Don't tell me the odds.
Midland.
Very middling. All right. So now I'm gonna change the music real fast. So I'm gonna narrate this for a quick minute. So Spider is trying to investigate the area and follow the tracks. She's seeing that the trail is being covered up very, very quickly, and she begins to go off trail before Bhranti is like, no, that right through here, and kind of like directs her the correct way. Muad Dib is also doing his own investigations to try and look around the area and see what there is to see. If there's like a way, he looks backwards and he can see the cave that you guys just came out of slowly disappearing in the trail behind as the vines and other plants slowly begin to take over. Kaelor is blasting firebolts. So anyway, I started blasting, and it's just blasting away and causing a lot of different plants to break down and twigs to fall, and leaves are burning up and whatnot. But it's pretty humid here, and the fire's not really catching, but definitely causing a ruckus and being very intimidating. Diov is trying to understand, trying to hold back the magics around your party by just druid crafting to give you guys a good solid path while it is within your area, and holding them back decently enough. Things are not growing quickly where you trip by accident, but you're making decent time with that. Spider recalls that the jungle of Namakwa is also known as the fossil forest marine. Or it used to be known for being filled with water many, many, many years ago, and it is a plethora. It is known for its fossils that they would find many, many years ago. She heard this over drinks in the tavern by people, other people in the tavern, talking about the fossils that used to be discovered way back in the day from the civilization before Seraphor became the plateau. Bhranti, you tried to insight what'd you try to insight? I can't remember.
Like, what did I try to insight?
General vibe.
Oh, the plants.
Oh.
The vibes. Just trying to see if like how the plants and creatures around where the big baby was running through reacted to him.
Sure. You can actually hear your perception and your wisdom is so high that you can actually hear the brum 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 as the Grendlekin moved through. The insects quieted, the birds quieted, and you can hear that quiet as the creature moves away and gets further and further away. And then as it moves further away, you can hear like this wave behind you of the birds and insects begin to come and come until they finally reach you. And now you're engulfed in the sound of creatures and other things, and implying that when this creature was going through, it is a top apex predator that everything wants to quiet down for and just like get away from. You also get a general vibe that the plants don't seem to care. Plants are just growing and growing and growing. Don't seem
The
to have
plants be planting.
Yep,
The
they just be
plants
planting, and they don't really care. As for Muad'Dib, you were trying to figure out the types of species, make sure you're not running into like a poison ivy or something. You do probably figure out that there are a lot of different species of pine, as well as oak, as well as lots of different vines and things that will choke out certain trees. But otherwise, that's about all you gather from that. And with that, 49... As you guys traverse a little bit further, you can hear creaking in the forest itself. The sound of wood and bark just gently moving from the wind from up above. And you guys can hear just like movement of wood and lignin. Breaking branches, if you will. I'm going to need everyone to roll a d100.
I don't wanna.
If that
Do we
helps.
have to?
We do.
Can we just
you
say it
sure?
hits mod?
Well, looks like it's hitting Muad and Kaelor. And Bhranti.
Oh, sick.
Alright. You guys are looking around, kind of getting your bearings, waiting for a moment, when all of a sudden, Bhranti, Muad'Dib, and Kaelor all get grasped by these vines that come straight down from the canopy itself and begin to grapple around you. And we are going to roll initiative. Give me 1 second. All right. And add turn.
Mm.
Okay, 9 plus that, it's 12. And we're just going to keep regular initiative order. I think that's easy. And let me get this, and we're going to go to that. All right. Spider, you watch as, and I'm going to move this to Bhranti. Copy, paste, and copy and paste. As these three vines come down and grapple Kaelor, Bhranti, and Muad. What are you doing?
Okay, so I'm going to go for Bhranti first. I'm gonna try to free her from the Devil's Rope with my Vorpal Greatsword.
You're gonna try to attack it?
Yeah.
All right, go chopping.
I don't know why it didn't chop.
Chop, chop.
There we go.
24 will absolutely hit, 9 points of damage. As you begin cutting through, or trying to cut through these vines, they are so gnarled and twisted, it looks like they have a lot more hit points than you were expecting, or stamina, or thickness than you were expecting. You are hitting them perfectly fine, but they be thick ropes, and they're wrapping around and quickly trying to restrain Bhranti, Kaelor, and Muad. Right now, you are only grappled, you three, just so you're aware. That is a total of 20, 36, 45. 45 points of damage. Very nice. Anything else, Spider?
That's it.
All
Because I
right.
don't have fucking inspiration anymore.
Bhranti, you are grappled only. What are you doing?
Let's see. Knowing that Kaelor is pretty squishy, Bhranti is going to cast Freedom of Movement on him.
Oh, very nice. Very
if he
altruistic
is-
of you.
Able to be freed from the thing and then has 5 feet of movement.
All right. Kaelor, you have 5 feet of movement right this second.
Yeah.
All right, you have 5 feet of movement.
How close am I to my friends?
As you see them.
Okay. So we were starting to be lifted up, and then so it was Spider and who else that was lifted up with me?
It was Muad, Bhranti, and you.
Muad, Bhranti. Okay.
And then I just freed you. So you're no longer grappled.
Okay. I'm actually going to oh god.
We're
So I have to use my 5 feet of movement right now, right?
Yeah.
Yes. You don't have to. You get it. So you can either use it now or never.
I'm going to actually not use it right now.
All right.
That's
It's
totally-
not
well,
your turn, by the way. But yeah, you could use it or not use it. That's up to you.
Okay. Well, I thought you meant like I had to use it now and versus like not on my turn.
Yeah.
You can either use
Okay.
it now or never.
No,
Right,
I think you're misreading the spell. The target can spend 5 feet of movement to automatically escape. So while he has a spell, he can spend 5 feet of his movement to get out of a grab.
Oh, okay. Well,
I see. Just kidding.
that works even more perfect for my plan then.
Okay.
All
Well,
right.
that's Bhranti's turn.
All
Freedom
right.
of movement, and then she's kind of sizing up the vines that are up above her.
All right. And it is Muad'Dib's turn.
Yay. Does it have like a point of where the vines are coming from? Like, is there a central area, or are they just, we can't tell where they're coming
Yeah.
from yet?
You look up, and it's far up into the canopy, probably a good 30 feet up, and they're coming off of like trees here and there. And it seems like the vines just rope around the trees and go all the way up, maybe 100 feet to the very top of the canopy, and they are just dangling all around. But these vines, they are moving way faster than the normal vegetation that you've seen earlier on. And also, these vines look like they have little thorns on them.
Gross.
It's thorny.
I'm going to aim directly at the closest area where they converge. And I'm going to cast Blight. So I need a con save with disadvantage.
Nice.
And
Because they're plants.
15.
it fails and takes maximum damage.
What is the maximum? 98 is
72.
72. Right, 72. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. This, I assume, is this one right here that you were attacking. You said you aimed for like a conversion point.
Yeah.
For the purposes of D&D and creatures, it's going to be this one that you did 72 points of damage to, and it's not looking good. It's like 3/4 of the way there.
And that's it.
One more time. You cut out. Brad, one more time.
I just give it the finger, and that's it.
Give it the finger. Awesome. Kaelor, it is your turn. You can use 5 feet of movement speed to get out of things. You are muted. Kaelor.
Sorry, muted. I would like to touch my couple of entangled friends. I am going to twin cast, touching them to make them farts.
All right, so you're twinning a what's the spell?
Gaseous form.
Gaseous-
We love that spell.
Fart spell. You're a fart now.
You have a flying speed of 10. Target can enter an occupied space and return to resistant to non-magical damage and advantage straight. Cool. Are you both willing?
How long does it take me to revert to my normal form?
You can. It lasts up to an hour, but we can drop it whenever.
Okay, so it doesn't take like a full minute or anything?
But you can't target and you can't attack. You can't cast spells.
Right. I'm just talking about.
It doesn't say. It doesn't
Because
say like how long.
one
it takes
of them. Yeah, one of not gaseous form, but there's the other one that's similar.
Windwalk.
That one you does take a whole minute. But I think this one you can't go back into it. Yes, I will become a sexy little fart.
All right, and Muad, do you become a fart as well?
Yes, please.
Yes,
All right.
please.
You guys have
Do
become.
you think his fart looks metallic?
It sparkles in the sunlight.
It's like extra shiny fart.
Ew.
All right. Anything else, Kaelor?
Yes, I will bravely run out of the vines. I will use my 5 movement speed to escape, and then I will move a full. I'm assuming this map isn't to scale, but I'll move my.
It is.
Okay. So that's 5, and then I got 25 more. 5, 10, 15, 20. Which is the direction of the Grendlekin?
Eastward.
So like directly eastward, like, because I assumed it was down the path, or is it like?
Eastward,
Am I off the map?
this way.
Oh wait, I am.
West.
Yes.
What compass are you reading, Bait?
Oh, okay. So I get here and I get to the river.
It's a stream. You can cross it without
Okay.
problem.
Okay. All right. So
Shallow.
5, 10, 15, 5, 30. Okay. All right. That is my turn. I am concentrating on the twin-spelled farts.
All right, the twin-spelled farts. You guys are in gaseous form. The vines are reaching for another creature that it can get into hold with. This creature, this vine, is going to attack Diov with plus 10s. 13, 18, 28.
Miss. Well, I'll say the second one.
So 18 and 28.
Yeah.
All right. First one, grapple. So you are just grappled, not restrained yet. And the second one, it is going to constrict and is going to deal a whopping 22 points of bludgeoning damage as it constricts you. This one is going to reach for Spider with a 14, 29. I assume the 29 hits you, Spider?
You think?
All right, you are grappled. It does not constrain you, however. And then this one is going to wrap around Spider and use its special ability. Spider, I'm going to need you to make a Constitution saving throw as the vine begins to try and get into your orifices, your ears, your nose, your mouth, and it looks like it's trying to burrow inside of you. You,
I've seen
luckily...
this hentai.
Ew. You luckily chomp down and wiggle and resist, and it is not able to get inside you and expand. All right.
Really quick, why? I must have missed it. Why do I have an eyeball
I'm
on my?
gonna leave now.
I put an eyeball on your character because I feel like you casted something last session that had to do with like foresight, or normally I do something like true seeing. That's what it was. Yep. Do you still have it?
I don't remember if I cast it before or after our short.
You did before.
Okay,
yeah,
then I wouldn't have.
And then Muad, you had a flying boot for maybe haste or something? I can't remember. Do you recall? If we don't remember, then that's fine. We'll get to it later. Diov, it is your turn.
Cool. I am going to Misty Step over. And then second level spell. There we go. And then I'm going to cast a Firebolt at the one that was attacking me. I will use a charge from my Ring of Amplification and deal max damage. So if I hit,
Holy balls.
21, so it'd be 40 fire damage.
To the one that was I can't remember. It was probably this one.
Yeah.
How would you like to kill it?
I just brush myself. I like make it look like I'm brushing myself off, but my hand doesn't actually touch me, and everything just, all the leaves and stuff just fall off of me, and then I just burn fire out of my hand.
Beautiful. Anything else?
I'll just take 5 feet and move it, put myself behind.
Spider, at the top of the round, you hear what sounds like more groaning from the forest around you. More wood is moving and creaking, and then you hear something big is moving through the forest, snapping a lot of wood and twigs and other things as you hear something moving through the forest beyond.
Can I tell which direction it's going?
You can tell that's coming mostly from the east and maybe northeast.
Okay. So it would be across the river?
Yeah, around this area.
Okay. I point my sword in the direction, yell go, and then can I still do an attack? Or would that be my action?
Oh yeah, talking is a free action, so is crying.
Okay.
So yeah, you can still attack.
I mean, I'm crying on the inside.
How about
those
rizzing?
comments.
Hit, miss.
Jeez.
Hit. So you are struggling against these vines. You are struggling, and you get one good swing in. You cut off a couple twigs. The other two, unfortunately, you're swinging and miss. You just can't get good foothold. And then lastly, you get a good hit, and that is going to be against this dude right here, and that is 14 plus 12 is 26. Beautiful. Anything else?
Nope. That is all.
All right, Bhranti, you are a fart.
Congratulations.
I am going to unfartify myself and land kind of right under Sam. Sorry.
Who am I?
Right under Spider. And then at the thing that has Spider attached right now, I'm going to cast Harm at it.
Ooh.
You're no longer a fart.
I'm no longer a fart.
Nice.
18 plus 5.
Damn.
20 points. Plus 20. It is looking really hurt right now. Like, real hurt. But not enough to kill it. Anything else, Bhranti?
No. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
All right. At this point, you guys see what you heard rummaging through the forest as you could see these large tree-like entities with massive fruits of blue and red all over their bodies as they emerge from the other parts of the forest. And you see them grab their fruits, look at you angrily, and begin to throw fruits in your direction. We're going to do... These are plus 12 to Diov, so both will definitely hit. And that's going to be 23 points of force damage to Diov. These are going to Kaelor. 14 and 23 to Kaelor. What's your AC, Kaelor?
Oops. My AC is 17. Oh, wait, nope. That is temporarily, it is 14.
Both will hit. So you're going to take 30 points of force damage, Kaelor, as you get hit by these bluish apples that they took out from their bodies and just explode upon you. And then lastly, the last one will probably be Bhranti. These are plus 12. So that's 16 and 14.
No.
All right, they crackle against your armor, Bhranti, but it's definitely not enough to really get a good hit. Maybe cause a few dents in your armor, but you're otherwise fine. And these creatures look very perturbed and upset. Muad'Dib, you are a fart.
Fart 10 feet away. Drop fart form. And I am going to... Hang on. 60 feet. Hang on. I know I should have done this. Okay, I need the vines and this boy to make a wisdom saving throw.
Command. All right. The vines have a -2. Oh, shit! Shockingly, the vine just doesn't hear you. Too much commotion, but the other one doesn't. And then just two of the awakened, gnarled trees.
Yeah, this one and this one.
All right, these guys have +6s. So 20 and 19.
Yeah.
All right. What do you command them? What was it?
Flee.
Flee. And this concentration, yeah?
No, one turn.
One round. All right, got it. Do that. And do that. Oh, excuse me, guys. Kaelor, it is your turn. Kaelor, you're muted.
Yes, I am. All right. What? Oh God. What kills evil plant man with fruit grenade?
Fireball.
I mean, that's what I was thinking. Let's find out what the ignition temperature of the fruit grenades are. Keep some conservation. After all, we are chasing after a toddler of doom. So.
All right, with that fireball, which ones are you hitting?
The one in the north.
One in the north, and then I'm gonna do a nope, not a cone, a radius. All right, not enough to hit all three, so just these two over here.
Yeah.
To the east. All right. Their dex is meh with a +2, so that's a 20. Ooh, one saved. So that's gonna be 33 points to this one, and only 16 to this one. As a huge explosion just causes a cascade of different plant material to begin to just fall around you. Lots of leaves and burning embers fly all around you, but otherwise, it was pretty effective. Anything else? All right. This
How
plant...
deep is this sheer cliff?
It's don't worry about it. It's artistic. What do you call it? Artistic interpretation. Don't worry about the cliffs. It's considered to be flat land all where you are, but just dense forest.
I'll move
So.
slightly further along, and that'll be it.
All right. This vine is going to rescind, and it is the one holding Spider. Is it going to drop Spider, though? Above a 60, it will drop Spider. It's going to drop Spider and rescind back into the canopy. And at the end of its turn, it is 30 feet away. And that is that. And this one, however, is going to make 3 attacks plus 10 against Spider. 17, 20, and 15.
The 20 meets.
You are grappled by this one now.
Okay.
Diov.
Oh, so many choices. Bhranti can do things from a distance. Okay. I guess we'll be utilitarian then. I'm going to throw my hands in the air, begin manipulating space-time, and cast Vortex Warp. And I'm going to do it on Spider. And if she's willing, she gets teleported in between these two big fuckers right here.
Ooh.
Sure.
Does anything else happen for the vortex warp?
Nope. Just utilitarian. I'm just getting her out of her predicament. Get her where she could do some real damage.
Thank you.
All right.
Yep, and I think that's gonna do her because I don't have any bonus cantrips. So,
All right, and that's gonna be Spider's turn. You are in the middle of these two bad boys. What you doing?
All right, we are going to be doing some lovely Vorpal Greatsword on the one closest to myself. This guy. Please get.
Hit,
Not
miss,
a
hit.
nat 1, you silly goose.
You silly goose.
But yeah, that's the
too bad you couldn't chop off the limb.
I know.
Was that a hint to me or something?
Maybe.
I don't know if there's something I need to know. All right, so then that would be oh fucking A. I did not catch that. That's 25 and 37 points of damage to north or south. I'm sorry, I don't remember which one you're hidden.
The one I was north.
North, got it. Minus 37. Very nice. Plus 37. And all right. Anything else, Spider? Movement, bonus action.
You know what? Screw it. We'll do a second wind. Or no, not second wind. Shit.
Action surge.
Action surge.
All right.
And then I will be using that. For can I switch to the one to the south?
Sure. Miss, hit, miss, miss.
Yeah.
God damn.
Plus 11. You're just rolling 5s and below.
I'm sorry.
All right, you did 12 points of damage as you chopped off a couple of apples that fell onto the floor. This creature does not seem happy with you at this point. Anything else, Spider?
I'm gonna cry a little on the inside, but that's my turn.
I think Jesse
Bhranti.
watched Into the Woods this weekend with his son.
I
Not Into the Woods. I was thinking Wizard of Oz.
Okay. Bhranti.
Okay, Bhranti is gonna cast Dawn over here, 30-foot radius, a 60-foot sphere, and it'll hit these two baddies.
Got it.
Eh, goodbye, phone.
Bye.
I need them to both make con saving throws. I'm sure this will not be too hard for them.
All right, these are plus 10 to con. That's a roll. Both save.
Okay, so they'll take half damage, and
All right.
the circle stays up, and I am concentrating.
Plus 13. All right, this one looks pretty rough at this point. Anything else?
No, that is it.
All right. I am going to do that as a rough guess of date.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right.
It's Dawn. Thank you.
Oh, Dawn, sorry. Dawn. These two guys, they're booking it. They're commanded to leave. Do they get another save for getting hit by something, Muad'Dib? They just, even if they're hit, they're running.
Well, it's because it only lasts for 1 round.
Yep. Spider, you may take an attack of opportunity.
Haha.
And if that second one ends its turn in the dawn, it takes another.
Yep,
No,
you
they
have
have
to make
6
another
feet.
con.
Oh,
God
Spider!
damn. Should I just like retire for the night and call it quits?
Well,
They have
they
60
run.
movement, you said,
Yep.
so they're cool.
Yeah, they're
Because they're
30.
using their act.
Yeah, they're using their action to dash. All right, and then this individual right here is going to it is going to try to bear hug Spider.
Thanks.
It is an athletics contest. That is a 22. Please make an athletics check. I know the new D&D rules say an attack, but whatever.
She only allows
All
one
right.
man to bear hug her, so I don't know what they're thinking.
Again, another 22 athletics check. Ooh, all right. You have been grappled. It is out of actions, and it can't do what it wanted to do. So it is just grappling you at this point, and it's going to drag you 5, 10, 15. It's going to drag you towards its companions
Goodbye.
this way. And
Goodbye,
it seems like
cruel
it's trying
world.
to grapple and pull her away from the group. Muad'Dib, what you doing?
Mm. 5, 10, 30 across the stream. Yeah. And I need a con save.
Negative.
Oh, piss off.
2, 2, 2.
Wow.
Really? Well,
Ouch.
you know what? Just for that, I'm hurling him through hell.
Through hell.
Oh my god.
I forgot about this spell.
They revamped it in 1 D&D to not be overpowered as hell.
It's not even overpowered.
Good thing
There's
we're
no
not playing
save.
1D then.
I know. But there's no save. So anyway,
Well, it's like a smite for a warlock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's 46 points of damage.
Yeah, and he is transported for 1 turn through the lower planes.
All right.
Just
Sounds
him.
good.
So
Just
you're up,
Do you ever
Spider.
think like how many times this happens and the lower planes are like, please stop sending these people through here. They're ruining our forest.
Well, no, it's literally for 6 seconds, so they just pop in. They're like, what the fuck? And then they pop out.
Can I see that?
Well, it's
Kaelor.
through the hell, so over 6 seconds, they're going through multiple planes.
Yeah, like 1 second per plane of hell.
Mm.
All right. Kaelor.
Okay. Well, let's see if oof. Do I want to do that? Yeah, I feel like doing. Let's see if new brave Kaelor
Incredibly brave.
That guy's not there
Never
right now.
seen before.
can try to rescue via bad touching the fruit man.
All right,
Pause.
sounds good.
Isn't
That's
isn't
the
he?
worst sentence I've ever heard.
Am I
He's
mi-
hurling through hell, so
Yeah.
it's not
Oh,
gonna
wait.
happen.
Oh wait. Oh, it was. I thought it was one of the other ones that got.
Oh,
Oh.
The other
two ran away,
right?
I mean, what is she entangled? Is she not entangled anymore then, or is that
That
just
is
need to
true.
be cleared?
you are
'Cause,
correct.
So you could just hold your action for when he comes back.
Razzle dazzle.
I mean, I'm just gonna go up next to there and just wait. Can I move and then hold an action, or how does that work?
Yeah, you can move and hold an action. Absolutely. You hold Vampiric
Okay,
Touch.
I'm gonna move, wait for him to come back, and then hold Vampiric Touch.
Sounds good. Anything else?
That is it.
All right. Grasping Vines coming down for Bhranti. And this is going to be, these are plus 10s. 22, 19, 18.
The 22 will hit.
All right. As you are grappled now, this one is going to attempt to engage you. Give me a Constitution save.
Engage me. I'm a woman of God.
Yeah, but it pulls your hair first.
Don't say.
All right, you just save, and you are wiggling enough that you get it away from your mouth and nose and ears and whatnot, and you are not taken over yet. Diov.
All right, time to break out some bigger guns. Going to cast a animate objects on some lovely little metal balls, and we're gonna go ahead and make a. This will be on the one that's grappled, bro.
And you're concentrating on the animate objects.
Oh wait, sorry, that's the wrong attack. They just have a +8, so it would be a 20 to hit.
20. Definitely hits. And the one that is grappling Bhranti, if you do more than 9 points of damage, you kill it. I assume you do plenty more than 9. Do you have a damage?
Sorry, I forgot to put a space in it. Hold on.
No worries. I'm going to assume it does way more than 9. So,
Yep.
61 points of damage. How would you like to do it?
They just splinter a good like 5 foot section and chunk of it off, and she falls, to 2 feet to the ground. And then they sort of spin around, headed back towards the other one, as I simulcast a level 1 magic missile at the other one that tried to hentai her.
All right. 1
Maybe
point.
And that'll become acid as it hits.
Ooh, interesting. All right. Anything else?
That will be my turn.
Spider, you were just grappled. It is no longer grappling you as it disappeared, and you just see Muad smile. You see Kaelor, like, his fist in hand is in a clench, and it's ready, and he's ready to grab whenever it comes back, and he is just waiting there. What are you doing?
So this is gone.
It is indeed gone, and it will be back
Okay.
in a moment.
I'm gonna try. So would the one up in the upper right hand corners, well, the ones in the upper right hand corner, sorry, would these two be under any kind of cover?
They are definitely in the thick of the forest. They ran 60 feet away, so yeah, they probably have partial cover with +2 to their AC.
Okay, I'm gonna try hitting them with the longbow just to keep them at bay to the best of my abilities.
Sure. Which one are you attacking, or both?
I want to do 2 per, if
Got
that
it.
works.
First 2 to the west, last 2 to the east. Hit, miss, hit, miss. So 1 hit per each.
Thunk,
14
thunk.
and 14. Thunk, thunk. Beautiful. Anything
Running, bitches.
Yeah, basically just fuck you. And then, yeah, I guess I'm gonna wait to see when this lovely comes back.
All right, Bhranti.
It's me, Bhranti. Okay. You know what? The vine that's still above me. How's it looking?
Never been hit except for the magic missile just now. So 20 points.
Okay. And let us Sacred Flame it. Dex save.
Negative. 21. That's 21 radiant.
Radiant damage. Action. I'm gonna take the attack of opportunity, I suppose, and I'm gonna start making my way.
23?
Yeah, that will hit. I come back.
Nope. No, it's just gonna deal damage instead. 8 points of
Okay.
damage to you.
Okay. And that is me turn.
As the thorns just kind of rip across your skin, leaving gashes and whatnot. All right, this dude on his turn, or is it on Muad'Dib's turn? Does he return?
End of my turn.
End of your turn, got it. So he's still gone. These two guys, this individual right here, he is not looking good, and he's going to send 2 big ol' apples to Spider. These are plus 12, so 17 and... Nope, yep, 17 and 19 to Spider.
Nope, miss.
What's his
And,
range?
30 feet.
So it'd be at disadvantage?
He's going to take a step forward, and same with this guy, take a few steps forward, and also launch, so that's going to be a 28 for one of them at least.
I guess.
All right, and that's going to be 20 points of force damage as the apples explodify all over you. This individual, after stepping toward you about 10 feet, it looks like it's going to step away 20 feet as it looks like it's hauling ass away from you all.
Bitch
This
ass.
one
Yeah,
also
run, you coward.
looks like it's trying to get away, but doesn't have as much movement speed, but it looks like they are running away at this point. Muad''Dib.
Do I burn the fleeing people, or do I just wait? That's the question.
Save your man.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hold my action till the guy comes back.
You want to be in the dawn.
I do not want to be in the dawn.
Makes my metal all warm.
All right, at the end of your turn, Muad''Dib, the guy returns, looking like he is charred and otherwise not doing very well. Kaelor, make your attack for the vampiric touch.
All right.
If you do more than 19, exactly
Nice.
19. How would you like to kill this individual?
I reach up and start to drain the life as his fruits turn black.
As the fruits turn black from the necrotic energies, this creature, his body just completely collapses, and the leaves and the other things fall from its body, and it is no more. This vine is going to rescind back up to the canopy, and Diov, unless you want to pursue or do anything to wrap up whatever you wanted to do, you can let me know.
I send the animated objects up against that vine when it tries to retreat, and I destroy.
Sure. 60 again with a 61. It had 41, so 61 it definitely kills it without much of an issue.
And I just like twirl my finger, and I just send them up into the canopies, just for the next 50 seconds, just shredding that shit.
All right, Spider, you see the 2 awakened entities heading off into the forest, running away from you. Do you want to pursue, shoot after them, or just leave them be?
I'm gonna shoot at them because I just am petty apparently now. It's gonna be another dosey-dose.
To be fair, they did try to hentai you, or their vine friend.
They're friends. All right. First one is going to take 23 points of damage, plus 23, And the next one is going to take 11. How would you like to kill this one? He was almost dead.
I'm going to since I'm assuming he's running away, I'm going to just aim for what I believe is the softest part of his cranium, and the arrow is going to go straight through the back of his skull and through his one eye socket.
Beautiful. Anything else?
I'm gonna flip him off, and then I'm gonna turn back to the group.
Bhranti, letting the guy go, or vindictive?
Oh yeah. Bhranti's just gonna kind of walk up to the group. She's gonna be like, perhaps we should hire a druid as like a mercenary.
All right. With that, the other creature runs through the forest. You see him and hear him disappear through the forest, and that is the end of combat.
Could we inspect some of these fruits to see if they're edible?
Absolutely, that would be a nature check.
Can I assist?
Person. Oh, creature fruit. I'm not sure how I feel about that. This makes me think of dingleberries.
Thanks. Thanks, Bhranti.
I'm so sorry. Sometimes whatever I'm thinking just comes right out.
Bhranti, have you never had bacon before?
I do not partake in the eating of flesh.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, don't think of yourself too high and mighty. Let's figure this out.
You've never tried Rocky Mountain oysters?
Shockingly, no, but
Don't Google it.
Preferred when they're
I know what
pickled.
it is. Come on, man.
I know what they are, but no. Oysters are still flesh, yes, of the sea, but still flesh.
Not the right kind, Bhranti, but close enough.
Is this the
Okay.
second character in a row we're gonna have to get to turn into a meat eater by the end of the campaign?
It's always
Bhranti
research.
became, Forlita became like a cannibal
Yep.
specifically for her people. She was like, oh shit, other mushrooms are eating mushrooms? Maybe I should start eating mushrooms. But she still wasn't like eating vor or anything like that.
I thought you ate human meat at one.
The Titan ration.
Oh yeah, I did eat that. Or did I? I can't remember. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I was gonna say at this point it doesn't really matter. Jesse, what would a 16 get us for information on these?
Sure. For the 16, you would know that these things are volatile. They impact and cause an explosion of magical force damage. And you would probably also know that if distilled correctly, they could have some medicinal properties. As to what those medicinal properties are, you have no idea. But they seem like there could be some extracts that could occur.
Could do
with
some
these.
alchemical stuff for like explodies instead of potions.
I think that's appropriate. Yeah.
Would we
Like
also
us
know
catching.
how delicate we would have to be to handle them?
It's very volatile herbs and spices here.
So I'm working with some unstable herbs. I love that movie.
I love it too.
So the one that didn't get all necrofied, can I go and actually cut a sapling sized twig off of it?
Absolutely.
Cool, that's going
Oh,
in
the
my
one
bag.
that got hurled through hell. It wasn't fire damage. It was psychic.
No, but
damage.
Kaelor
No, but yep.
Yeah.
necrotized it.
So it's a little charred, a little necrotized, not looking too good. The other one back here, though, is just like arrows all through the body, so it's pretty easy to grab some stuff.
I think we'll grab some of the fruits from that one as well.
Okay.
We also got to, continue following the big baby,
Yes.
the biggest baby.
As you look at the trail that you thought you were following, it's pretty filled. The survival check to find the path once more is going to be a little bit more difficult this time around.
Jesse, we still failed the
I have a +10. I don't know.
For
survival.
survival.
Yeah. I mean, I can assist, but I don't have anything higher than that.
Yeah, you
Now
failed
that
the
I
skill
know what I'm
challenge.
looking.
God, I have to remember I
You-
have Archimedes.
You do have Archimedes.
Do you want to send Archimedes up to see if they can perhaps help us create the path, and maybe that would give us advantage on a.
Yeah, I'll have Archimedes give the help action by flying up through the decimated portion of canopy that I made and seeing if he can see anything from up top.
All right. You send Archimedes up into the canopy and well above the area of above the canopy, and again you see the formation of the crater, very high mist area. I think we said that this was close to. You guys waited a while. You guys got to the tavern at like dusk, so it's probably nighttime at this point. It is dark and it is difficult to see. There are two moons in the sky, but the mist and the fog and the clouds, it's thick and difficult to see a lot of things. As Archimedes looks down, all he sees is canopy. There really is no way to determine a path. You see the plateau. You could easily see the plateau and can turn around and just go back to the plateau. But in terms of the path, you're going to need either to wait for sunlight or figure out a way to get light to really perceive around you. But you cannot see much from where you are right now.
Do we dare
As
make
for
camp?
as for Bhranti's 20, you do pick up. The DC was 20. You do pick up the sign of where the path continues on. If you hurry now, you could potentially continue on.
We start hurrying until we're risking sleepy.
Well, it is nighttime, or it is now nighttime. So you guys pursue.
Nighttime doesn't necessarily mean it's bedtime.
True. You guys all agree? You're
We
gonna
also
head into the night.
did get the effect of a long rest while we were at the tavern.
Yes, that's right. I think I did give that to you, Spider. I think I forgot to tell you that. Yes, you asked me for short rest or long rest. I think I said short rest. It was supposed to be a long rest, so I apologize.
I don't care. At this point, who cares?
All right, cool.
Well, because, I mean, like, the only thing that might have affected was, like, hit points, and I got all those back anyway, so.
Gotcha. All right. You guys begin making your way through the crowded path. Who has dark vision and who needs
Me.
dark vision?
We have it.
I have it.
Spider
Thank
has
God.
it?
I'm an elf.
Oh, Cinna, I think, was the one who
Yeah.
didn't have it.
Yeah, I'm not playing a blind, squishy bard anymore.
And Seraphang, I don't think, had blind sight either. But anyway.
Half elf?
I
I
think
do.
Seraphang, yeah,
I
anyway.
don't, but I can see through Archimedes' eyes, so I'm just gonna plant him on my shoulder, and he has dark vision.
Sounds good. Bhranti?
I can't. I'm looking right now. I can't remember. I don't think I do. But I will. I can cast Dark Vision. So
All right. Would you like to cast it?
let me. Yeah, I will. I think I can do it to multiple people. So let me double check to see. Bounce, bounce, down, down. Bam, bam, bam. Excuse me. Oh no. Okay, I think it's only just me. Never mind. Yes, I will cast Dark Vision on Mason.
All right. Sounds good. And the rest of you continue on through the forest. You make your way following Bhranti's lead through the thick jungle. And again, where you heard all these different noises and insects and birds, the birds have subsided. The insects are now very loud, but otherwise, it seems almost peaceful. You can hear the creaking and cracking of different vines and wood moving throughout the forest, but it just seems like a quiet, beautiful area. As Bhranti continues on, you get to a section of the jungle that has a weirdly thick tree, and your path leads you around this tree, but it's still something of note that you see in front of you. This gnarled, very largely thick tree, and again, the wood just seems extremely strong. You also see signs of recent scar tissue. The horns of the Grendlekin looks like it probably brushed up, and it used this tree as a means for sharpening its horns or brushing up against this tree for its horns for those purposes. Is there anything you'd like to do here or continue on?
Admire
But
the
how
pretty
thick
tree.
is the tree?
How thick? It's probably a
Yeah.
solid 20-foot thick diameter.
Can
Okay. Sorry.
No, you were already going.
I would like to be able to see through the tree with ghostly gaze.
You can't.
Solid objects.
It is solid, but you cannot see through it.
Is it lead?
Can I do an Arcana check on that? 'Cause
Absolutely.
that is- Oh, boy. I'm at a +10 to that.
24?
Not a +10, D10.
Oh, D10, sorry. 20. You would know that the only thing that you can't see through is usually, like Bhranti said, lead. This does not look like lead to you.
Can I make
Perhaps it is underneath.
a history check on this type of tree?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Unfortunately, you just
Le Big
can't
Dump.
quite remember. it
Can
right
let
now.
me try. Let me see if I
Nice.
All right. With that, so Spider, you know that this is an ironwood type of species. Now you've seen these before in nature, and you know that they are actually extraordinarily difficult to cut down. They have some of the hardest densities in all of nature. You know that is
make
mostly
great
used
arrows.
for making arrows. Exactly, arrows, spears, weapons, quarterstaffs. Like this stuff is dense, and it's very beautiful as well. This particular species, you would also know, is known for uptaking a lot of metal deposits that could be in the soil around it. You assume, by what Muad had mentioned, that he can't see through it, that maybe some of those metal ions have made their way into the trunk of the tree. So whatever this thing is uptaking from the soil, and you also know that the roots go deep, very deep. We're talking 100 feet or more.
I'm gonna relay all that information to the group, and Mod, that would probably make sense why it's not working.
It's obvious the beast was led here.
Oh my god, Diov. Mah!
Can we tell by the scarring how long ago, how far behind this thing?
Do an investigation check.
Fucking
I would like to
glad.
assist.
I will take
I
your
will
assist.
assist.
1d6. You would know based on the regeneration rate of these plants and this tree. It's probably here. You guys have been traveling for a while. It was probably here at most 20 minutes ago, maybe.
We're not
Seems
far
like it's pretty
behind.
far ahead. Yeah, it seems like it's not too far behind, or you guys are not too far behind.
Oh, I bet the poor thing is just freaking out.
I think it is following something. I don't think it is necessarily freaking out at all.
Well, you said it was a baby, right?
Yes, but it was whistled at. So I think they know exactly what sound they are
Oh,
following.
okay. Okay.
Hmm.
All
Well,
right.
should we continue? Yes, I think that would be a great idea.
Yep.
Before you go, you notice off into the side of the forest a fluttering of what looks to be bright blue butterflies that are fluttering around the area, um, doing what you don't know, but it's just another point of the beauty of this area.
Fireball.
What'd you say? Fireball.
Fireball.
You know, as long as it doesn't try to eat me, I'm okay with them.
These butterflies are pretty
Fair.
large. Like if you put two of your hands together and made a kamehameha symbol, like it'd be like that large with the two wings with your hands. But they otherwise seem very, very peaceful. And
And
yeah,
that's why we fireball.
sure, you can do whatever you want.
Kidding. Absolutely not.
No, there's no point in destroying the ecosystem here if we can
We
avoid
should
Yeah.
it.
keep moving my power levels over
Yep.
9,000.
All right. I assume you guys continue on. Traveling
Yeah.
throughout the next part of the jungle is quiet, and you are occasionally visited by another bright blue butterfly. Here and there, they are bioluminescent. They give off a glittering of light here and there. But eventually, you find yourself in a area of the jungle that has some interesting rock formations, and it takes you all a minute before you begin to notice these are not rock formations. You look underneath the roots, and you can see buildings, ruins covered in roots, vines, trees, just buried. And you soon come across larger buildings that have not fully been engulfed by the forest itself, but still overridden by roots and root systems. Uh,
Hmm.
you have lost the trail at this point, but it has led you to this area.
From the age of the ruins and the growth around them, can we deduce whether these were already ruins when the cataclysm of the valley happened, or is this like the previous civilization that didn't get raised up with the rest of the city?
Yeah, make an investigation check. The DC is like 12. Oh, yeah. You can tell the scars on the runes themselves, they're very well built. Very, very well built. But the roots and the vines, they have taken their toll on these particular parts of the buildings. And yes, they are hundreds of years old, probably predating the plateau formation, and probably were part of the ancient civilization before the cataclysm within this crater.
Cool. All right. Well, if there's only one-to-one comparisons in this universe, dangerous things live in dangerous ruins, and this place is twice as dangerous as where we're from. So expect twice as dangerous things inside those ruins.
I should also mention with that investigation check, Diov, which was extremely high, you notice a lot of symbols and runes and glyphs on particular parts of these buildings and walls, and obviously the roots and vine systems are way too prevalent for you to read whatever was below, but if you could remove them, you feel like you could maybe deduce something.
Okay. Was it Bhranti? I believe it was Bhranti. Do you have another blight in you?
Oh, I don't think I don't have blight.
Who
Yes,
cast
that
blight?
Maud
was
did.
Oh, Maud.
I have blight. Yes. I have a blight.
And are you able to read runes?
Yes, I can read any language.
Marvelous.
Can you really?
Eyes of the
Yes.
Rune Keeper.
Damn.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Fucking great warlock feat.
So with that blight, I'm not even gonna roll for it. They just wither away and die and fall and release themselves from the runes and the glyphs and the hieroglyphs. You look at this massive wall, and you can read a thing or two here. You understand that this ancient civilization was very well off, very wealthy, as well as they were mostly a what do you call it? A creating society. They loved to create works of art through all different aspects of their society, whether it was through building, whether it was through making music, whether it was for any kind of mundane task. They made it with art, and they made it with art in mind. So that's the main thing that you learn from this. Their tools were works of art. Everything was a work of art for them. You also notice that there are signs that there was a lot of mining going on in this area. And think that's about all that you're going to get from this.
Ooh.
I should have come up with more examples. Like every single piece of clothing was filigreed and made perfectly. It was like mastered. Everything about
It was an ostentatious artist commune.
Victorian era. That's probably the best example that I can give. Victorian era.
I feel like we're saying the same thing, but
Yes, we are. Sorry.
Do the runes look similar to what was engraved on the Grendlekin's chest? Like they have similar styles, like it's the same kind of writing?
Absolutely not. Very, very different.
similar though to the like maps we saw in the under.
It is similar to the maps and the runes that you found in the Undercity of Seraphor.
As we're walking around, is there anything that Maudib can see that's like, Cheshire Street or like, super awesome, powerful magical weapons? This shop here.
So, I will say that you do find certain locations. The ones of most interest are the sequestered library, as well as the entrance to the mines themselves that lead down underneath, as well as the milling factory for crushing up grains and such.
Oh, if anybody else has an option, I wouldn't mind. I never mind visiting a library.
Right,
Oh,
but
I
I
would
couldn't
actually.
imagine a large Grendlekin could fit in a library, but a mine.
I would have to agree with Bhranti on this.
Library on the way out as like a gift shop.
Books. I
Mhm.
suppose. Yeah.
I was gonna say I do have to agree with Maud on this one. I think if we hit the mine, see if we can find our missing friend, and then we can go to the library afterward as a reward.
It's like
for-
a reward.
It's like a reward.
You have just
Maybe
looked
we can find
longingly at the
another book
library.
for him.
There, small child. It'll be fine. Let's go.
What did Kaelor say? Sorry.
Maybe we can find another book for him.
Perhaps.
True.
You look at the inside cover of the book and see if there's like a stamp out, like one of those old ones that us '90s kids had to do.
Definitely not. Definitely not. Definitely looks like a more modern book for sure. All right, so you guys head over to the section that you assume to be the library. All right.
No, mines. They wanted to go to the mines first.
Oh, sorry. I got caught up in books. So you guys head over to. You come to what looks to be an old miners' guild type building. again, still covered in vines and roots and other things. And as you enter this building, it is dark. You can see old, very decayed tools and other things. But the one thing that's, yeah, I'd give it to you. Bhranti, your perception was able to see that one of the tools is extraordinarily well preserved. It is a pickaxe of sorts, but it looks extraordinarily well preserved and like almost like new.
Hmm. Sure. I will pick it up and I go, yeah, isn't this peculiar?
I feel like Jesse's turning this into a Minecraft sim.
I swear to God, I had to not. It's also very, very heavy in comparison to like normal pickaxes.
It's so heavy on my arm.
Oh yes, your weak little wizard arms.
My tattoo glows on one of my arms and it turns into a bulbous gassed arm, and I'll just grab it and hold it there. I mean, I can identify this now, or we can wait, and I can identify it later as a ritual.
Well,
Whatever you
I would-
desire. I will say that there's a chance that it could be useful here.
Fine, buy it.
oh, thank you, sweet,
All right.
sweet child.
As you cast the identify spell, you do learn that it is in fact made out of ironwood, the same wood from a tree that you saw earlier today. You would also know that it allows for handling and breaking of extraordinarily difficult metals to mine. Any kind of hard metal, it can probably take out. Oh my God! Any kind of hard metal, it can probably take out of a mine or of a vein very easily.
See? This could be handy.
Yes, just be careful not to hit Maud with it.
Got it. Maud,
I
come here real
nope.
fast.
Mm-mm.
Put your hand here.
I'm good. I'm all set.
Are you
Bhranti,
sure?
Just
remember.
can I take a? I'm gonna take a minute to regain all my spell slots.
What?
Wait. Nope, incorrect. Don't listen to me.
Okay.
I'm gonna
All right.
take out a copper coin and open Archimedes' beak and just like position it in there and cast light on it. So I turned Archimedes into a hooded lantern. A hooded lantern. All the lights focused in one direction.
Sounds good. As you continue looking around this Miners Guild type area, you can see there's a section where it descends downward in steps toward the bottom of something. It's a downward path. And I'm going to show you.
Are we seeing any signs of the Grendlekin coming this way at all?
Give me a survival or investigation.
I will survival.
I can assist.
I will investigate.
With that investigation and that survival, you do not find any such evidence that a Grendlekin of such large size has been through here.
But the library.
Well, we might as well continue. We are here.
True.
Or at the very least, it might be a good place to rest.
Lead on then.
Okay.
All right. As Bhranti leads on, you begin heading downward into the mines and the steps. The heat is no longer oppressive. It starts to get cooler and cooler as you continue going on down towards this section of the mines. How are you proceeding? Just one after the other in a line? Are you proceeding quietly?
I would
Preparing?
definitely. I would definitely say at least Bhranti was trying to be quiet.
Oh yeah, for sure.
How wide are the steps? Can we go 2x2 or more than 2x2, or is it a single
Oh
file?
yeah. It's very wide. It's like a solid 15 to 20 feet wide section. So it's wide enough that you could probably have all of you together in a line. But I just wanted to know if you were
You'd
being
like
selfish.
that, wouldn't you, Chet?
I would say
I wouldn't
Bhranti and
care.
Syder in front, and stagger a couple steps, and then the next two, and then stagger a couple steps,
All right.
just so we're not super smashed together. Because if we're about to get like dragon breath, I don't want us all to die.
All right.
I
Go
mean,
ahead
it'd
and
be
give me. I assume you guys are being stealthy. Go ahead and give me stealth checks.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Bhranti's super stealthy.
Dark.
I will cast
What?
invisibility on myself.
You have advantage.
Oh,
Go ahead,
thank
Kaelor.
God for Kaelor.
Wow. Bhranti is just clinking and clanking away. Muad also, like steam and other things of the metal are clinking and
We're
clanking.
just not a quiet group.
Spider is just also clicking and clanking. Luckily, Diov is really quiet, and same with Kaelor. But you guys continue on relatively loudly. And as you guys continue on, it's been about an hour or two. I'm gonna need Muad, Bhranti,
Not least surprised.
and Spider to make con saves
Why?
because I said so.
Or
Well,
what
fuck
breed
you.
is it?
Disease.
I'm immune to disease.
Gorgeous.
I'm a robot man. What'd you expect?
I wonder how it
Is this
affects
'cause
your
The
epic
vines
disease.
try to fuck you all. Did they get some weird sperm on you?
Maybe.
Oh, please, no. No.
Well, Spider is fine.
Y'all got vine STD.
And Bhranti is also fine. So whatever.
Okay. Whatever.
We haven't seen Kaelor yet.
Was Kaelor's? He did get grappled, didn't he? No. Yeah, for a minute
He didn't get vine fucked, but he got grabbed.
he got grappled.
I don't think
Kaelor, give me a
none of us.
Constitution save.
I was gonna say none of us actually got vine fucked.
No, I know, but they touched you, brushed up
And they
against
just,
you.
they
Yeah.
just kind of rubbed the tip against your lip.
I didn't realize
Yeah.
I was having a hentai moment potentially.
Oh, nope,
Yeah.
different. This is different. The trichomes are what got you. Look it up.
Just the tip.
Kaelor, you guys are all fine. Don't even worry. All right, you guys
I
continue
worry, Jesse.
going down further and further, and you notice that these mines obviously have been abandoned for quite some time until it opens up into a section that diverts. There are multiple different pathways to go ahead. One that continues going downward, and one that seems to circle left. And as you step forward, Bhranti, you can hear that it kind of the echo from the left also, like after a second, echoes to the right. So it sounds like it loops around somewhere, and it comes back around to the right. But this section is pretty large. And the one thing that you do notice, Bhranti, you notice what looks to be tracks of something.
How big are the tracks?
Medium size.
Does the boot pattern look similar to the boot pattern we saw at the bottom of the plateau?
They do not.
I will
boot
point it
tracks?
out. He just said medium tracks. I was just asking if they were boot.
You can do a check to see what kind of tracks they are specifically.
Sure.
I would allow survival.
Survival. What is your tracks?
With that 24,
Nice.
you would know that there are multiple individuals. They are around medium size. They are generally barefoot, with scale-like legs and, or I should say, feet
Patterns. There.
patterns. And you know that these tracks are probably a couple days old. They seem to be leading downward.
Would I know them to be Yantees?
Nature check.
Possibly kobold.
Also, but like kobolds have like 3 toes, right? Like you said,
Ye-
nature.
Nature.
I didn't hear Jesse say how many toes these tracks have.
19.
They're more lizard-like.
Oh, okay, so maybe kobold. Maybe you're right, or maybe a species we've never seen before. Of course, I share all this news with my friends. Do we follow them or?
Is everyone doing all right? We don't need to stop for our rest yet.
I'm doing okay. Maud, Kaelor,
I will say,
Bhranti?
health-wise, I'm fine. I could probably use a mana recharge soon, but I think I have enough to get us through one more fight.
I'm okay.
I'm good.
Right, let's continue on then.
Are you going downward or going to the loop?
Following the lizard folk kobold tracks.
the footsteps.
All right, sounds good. As you descend further and further into these old mines, you can find layers of tracks. Tracks being like train tracks, where like a cart would be, and you're able to determine that this is probably like the main working part of the mine. You travel down for maybe an hour or two, and it's starting to get late at this point in time. And just before you're probably about to make ready for a camp, you notice what looks to be a silver streak of a vein coming through on one side of the walls that you were traveling through. There are definitely scars that this area used to be mined, indeed, from pickaxes and other things, but you can see this little stream of silver vein through the wall.
Silver colored vein, or is it
Silver colored, yes. Sorry, silver.
Can I investigate to see what type of mineral it is?
You can most certainly try, yeah. Call that, that might be, investigation's good. It's a material, it's a thing. Investigation, I probably would allow investigation. As you like get right up to the vein and maybe like itch it a little bit with your finger or thumb, it is extraordinarily hard, and it seems to be resonating with a magical energy that you might not be familiar with. Well, you probably are, your Diov. It's akin to lead, but it also seems to be giving off a lot of what do you call it? Of magical auras. Yeah, it's giving off a magical aura, but it also feels like lead, but way more dense.
Bhranti will kind of smugly hand Diov the fancy pickaxe that earlier he didn't want to identify.
As you hold it out, he just looks at you and goes, "Ew, manual labor? No."
I'll take it.
I will pickaxe some of it out.
All right, athletics check. It is a very high athletics check.
Yes, I have a +0 to athletics.
Yeah,
I'm a wizard.
Ew, physical labor.
This is a DC 30, just so you know.
Guidance.
It's a pickaxe? What kind of weapon is a pickaxe?
I think there is a weapon that is a pickaxe. I think
Yeah.
it's like a war axe or war pick, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a
martial
war-
weapon.
It's a good old raining weapon.
Waiting on your athletics check, Bhranti.
Sorry.
And your guidance roll.
And your guidance.
Yeah, good call. Good call. We'll see how. I don't know. This is
Oof,
not a guidance. Is not going to help, but just
Eh.
for fun.
As you guys watch Bhranti, her technique terrible, her stance horrendous. As she
Okay.
swings and tries to go after this vein, and it's only like a like a 1 inch thick. You see the ground, the earth around the vein, like it does chip away. But as soon as the tip of the pickaxe hits the vein itself, the resonance that comes off of the pickaxe and like you feel it in your bones, Bronte, and it's just that feeling of like sensitivity, like oh
I
god.
immediately pull back, and then I turn to Spider and I hand Spider the pickaxe.
Oh,
Never
okay.
mind.
Okay. Let me try this.
I'm gonna have Archimedes fly over and like light the vein for her and give her the help action through Archimedes.
Wow. Okay.
Thank you.
Fuck me, right?
That's only because he likes to see his god
I will.
grand.
You would have had to roll a natural 20 and get a 3 on your guidance roll.
I will also give her guidance.
All right,
What's not gonna make?
it's not gonna make it unless you have something else.
God. Okay, this is really tricky. I'm not used to this.
Same.
It's definitely, it doesn't hurt nearly as much as it hurt Bronte, but
Are you
like
okay?
this vein,
Mm.
and luckily your pickaxe also did not break, which like the way that you swung it, the way that you went after it, you could have sworn that you were gonna snap this fucking pickaxe in half, but it didn't break.
Huh.
Could I make maybe a no? Because I don't know much about this metal type. Can I just make a general history check on like besides picking, were there other like either magical or technological ways that people would get dense metals out of mine?
Yeah, make a history check. 21. In terms of the different mechanisms, uh, you would know that there would be very, very strong individuals who would do this day in and day out that would know that there's a technique to it, in essence. There is a technique. Again, it is an art form. And it seems like these people who were known for always crafting things with extreme art in terms of technique, it's kind of the same thing. Once you master a technique on something, in other words, it will lower the DC,
And it
allowing
becomes
for
easier.
a little bit easier. Not much, but a
I
little bit
wonder if
easier.
they had manuals on how to do that in the library.
Oh
Speaking of the
my
lab.
god, Diov. Get over it.
Oh,
That's a
gosh.
treat for after we're done with this.
You know, some of us can still eat dessert before dinner and completely fine for dinner.
I kind of look him up and down, and I'm just like, it does not look like you've eaten much ever.
Oh, that's
This
the
body
joy.
does seem kind of scrawny compared to the last one.
Oh, it's, the joy of jumping into a smaller body is people take you less seriously and often make a mistake.
Nope, you're just as annoying as ever. Alright, shall we crack on since clearly we can't crack this vein?
It's getting late at this point. You guys are feeling a little tired. You're more than welcome to continue on, but this is the point of rest.
We can set up camp.
Would you like me to take care of that?
Ooh, magnificent mansion.
Something like that. And
Mansion
everyone.
time.
I grab Bronte's and
Mhm.
Maud's hand, I guess.
I
Is
grab
it-
hands.
Everybody links
possible.
hands. I'm gonna.
Oh god, your hand's so cold, Maud.
I'm metal. What do you expect?
I know.
Not a
I don't
heater.
know. I feel like you would have a combustion engine in there.
It's all magic, baby.
Ugh.
Can I take like a small sliver of the metal? Like I don't want a big piece. I just want some to study. For later.
You need to get it out somehow.
I'm proficient in smithing. I just need like a flake.
Sorry.
I don't need like a big chunk.
Give me a smithing tools check then.
You got this.
It's a D20
And-
plus proficiency.
A strength, probably.
Yeah, I'd allow strength.
Ooh. Could be dexterity.
No.
I mean, you said it was an art form.
Can it be charisma
I-
if he takes his pants off?
Fuck no.
Oh my god. Wait, you're wearing pants?
I will allow dexterity if that. Oh my.
Hey,
goodness.
that's 20!
Yeah.
Plus your proficiency, which is a +6, yeah? And then plus, we
Dex.
could either add dex or strength. Which one?
Dex +1. Better than the -2.
27. Because
guy.
you're proficient, I was going to say, because you're proficient, the DC is lowered to a 28. So if you add guidance on top of that,
Guidance.
that twirl.
Yeah.
With that
Twirl and a half.
31, you get a very small piece, no bigger than maybe a bottle cap. And you take it off and grab it, and it is heavy. Extraordinarily heavy.
That's not heavy. That's my wife.
But otherwise, you have it.
Jesse's very angry that you have it. You do have it.
Someone's gonna die soon, and his name is with Muad.
Once we run into another fucking dragon. So as we everybody touches, I reach up and touch my the necklace underneath my Ogma necklace, and there is a sort of spinning warp sensation around all of us, and you find yourself in a sitting room inside of a library with endless shelves. All the books are like semi-translucent until you go to pick one up. And there are chambers that sort of lead off into other areas. But
Do you have a butler?
oh yeah, I have unseen servants everywhere.
The unseen servants immediately come close to you guys and begin massaging your temples as well as your shoulders. And they usher you to sit down and begin massaging your feet.
Bhranti will assume that she's been here before. And she's like, "Hi, Frank. Hi, Joe. Hi, Jerry." She's given all the unseen servants that she cannot see names.
Bhranti, these are all new manifestations. This isn't quite the same as what you've been in before.
These
Oh.
books aren't about to start flying around while they throw a temper tantrum, right?
No, actually, these books are all temporally linked to the libraries I've set up along the Sword Coast. So, if you find one, just pick it out and you'll have the book.
Bhranti finds a place to go Mimi's. Mimi.
They're very comfortable, but very not like super customized guest rooms for everyone. It's like there's just a hallway full
Standard.
of guest rooms. Yeah, Diov doesn't really host people here often.
Hey, it's better than the ruins floor, so I think
Yep,
we'll be
every day
just
of the week.
fine.
You spoil us, Diov.
Before Bhranti goes to bed, do you guys talk amongst yourselves and talk to maybe Kaelor, who might not be known to the rest of you that well?
Well, good point.
So,
So who would know Kaelor in this group? Anybody?
Directly? I don't
I
think
guess
anyone.
Bhranti would know Kaelor a little bit, maybe. No.
Yeah, from the Olympics. I assume there was
Yeah, I mean, besides that,
small talk.
so
Yeah.
what brings everybody to this place? And Sir Kaelor,
Well, I've
any
been-
exciting things about you?
well, Let's see. I was born under the dark moon. And I like the darkness. Let's see, what else? I've died a lot. And I don't like void dragons. I don't like void dragons one bit. And speaking of which, that's kind of what brought me here.
Well, yeah, I think it brought all of us here. Have you met that void dragon before?
Yes.
Interesting. Well then,
Not pleasant.
that is
Have you-
unfortunate for you. I'm glad we all survived, or whatever half-life this place is.
I thought I would have liked the Dark Realms, but it's just void, but not in a dark way. And that everything was after you.
Oh, like in a sad way.
Yeah. So, how long have y'all been doing this? Y'all seem to all know each other.
Well,
Diov and I have been long time adventuring companions, and well, in many forms of Diov. This one is new. And
20,
Spider,
25 years together, yeah.
has it only been that long?
I was gonna say, really?
And then Spider here is married to my nephew Drago. Maldib, I think I'm just trying to make sure. Maldib was also a part of the adventuring party with Drago and Spider, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And Maldib was also a part of an adventuring party with Spider and her beloved Dragomir and my niece Katerina, Diov's daughter. And yes, so we've intermingled quite a bit.
Certainly sounds like it.
As conversation is happening, two things. One, Jesse, I pull out my notebook that's mostly blank, but has things that I've been transcribing into it for our journey. And as I use my eidetic memory to remember the stone from the Olympics that we had to translate, and it just begins to apparate on one of the pages. Are the runes that were on that stone comparable to the ones that we're finding here?
In the Sephora Plateau, as well as this ancient civilization of ruins, yes.
Okay. And one of the other things that happens is a door opens at far in the hall, and somebody that Muad and Bhranti definitely knows this person, but Muad, you see a facsimile of the old wizard that you helped destroy in the tower once Katerina had returned from being cloned. And he sort of walks out, and Diov gets up and goes and speaks with him for a moment, and then he leaves through the same door.
Oh, hey.
Sorry, other projects going on.
Who? Why? He
Sorry?
should be dead. That you? Is that you?
Well, facsimile, yeah.
Ooh, how many of those do you have?
It's hard to lose track. After they've wasted their higher magics, I have little use for them other than librarians and research companions.
Dear Lord.
Ooh. Well, you're down one.
I know.
Okay. Just wanted to let you know.
Do you think I let most people go into one of my towers and destroy it?
No, Yeah, it's just, I don't know, kind of slipped my mind. Kind of forgot to tell you that. I guess.
Not an issue. My daughter needed a catharsis, so I decided to manufacture it.
Gonna unpack that later. That sounds healthy.
Yeah, no shit.
Well, this has suddenly become incredibly awkward. I'm gonna go study this metal.
I'll show you to the workshop.
Okay.
As you guys walk through the different halls, what do they see when they enter the workshop?
Again, there's not a lot of design to it. It's not ostentatious. It's very like, these are the things that you need. These are the tools that you could possibly need. And it's sort of like next, like room to next door. Like all of the different types of workshops that could be needed are all stationed next to each other. And then as he drops you off, he goes to a door that's sort of central to all the different chambers, and you see him take a door handle out of like 100 different door handles off of the wall, put it on, open it up, and it's just a room full of different sizes of diamonds. And I'm just gonna go in, pick up a couple diamonds for Bhranti for spellcasting purposes, and look over my shoulder, and be like, "Is there anything you need for your arcane abilities, or are you set?"
I am fine for the most part. Most of my spells and components I prepared for.
I think he was talking to Muad.
Oh,
No. All mine are kind of from somebody else.
Oh,
I don't really need a lot of components.
I assumed you might. All right. Well, I'm just gonna drop some diamonds into a bag, and close the door, pull the handle off, place it back on the wall, and all the handles just sort of shift around at that. Everyone else, I can show you to the guest chambers if you're not going to be up working on anything.
Oh, if you have like a whetstone I could use to resharpen my vorpal sword, because it got a little blunt.
I'll take her over to the smith shop, and everything is branded with like the insignia for Smithy Incorporated.
Of course it is.
Dan's old character.
Oh god. Alright, well that's where I'll be probably for a good while.
All right. You guys head off to your respective areas. Anything else before bed? All right. You guys head off to bed. When this spell is active, Diov, is it disappears into like a different plane of existence, or what? What can people see on the material plane?
There's no, yeah, it's we basically are sucked into a custom planar dimension.
Got it. All right. You guys get a full night's sleep with no interruptions, no nothing. It is quiet, and it is a really good night's sleep in comparison to others that you've had recently. You all wake up feeling well rested. Take your long rest. Is it equipped with food? I don't remember.
It's not like magically regenerated, but there is a kitchen with a stockpile that other Diovs, when they're using the space, would bring groceries and stuff.
Sounds good. So
More
you guys
muscular
get your
Diov.
long rest.
What'd you say?
The more muscular Diovs.
Yeah, a couple of them. They're like different ages, different body types, generally the same. Every once in a while, you'll see a female Diov walk through.
All right. You guys wake up feeling well rested. Take a long rest if you haven't already. And what would you like to do?
Do some stretches, calisthenics before we head out.
The
That's
unseen
fair.
servants like help you hold your toes and like massage your muscles after you stretch to like really get a good stretch, and they help you like bend this way and bend that way.
One sits
Um,
on your back while you're doing push-ups, but you can't feel it because it's intangible.
yeah.
Why could I have like why do I feel like there would be like the tiniest tickle like you feel like well
It's
like hair
cold,
on
but
the
it feels
back.
like an ice pack.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
or like hair touching your back, like it might not be your hair, but just like that sensation of there's a little something there. Oh my god, speaking of, here I am shedding.
Muad, was there anything you wanted to do with that piece of metal?
Yeah, just check it out, see what it is, what it can do. You know, metal checking, metallurgy, stuff like that.
All right, give me a. I'll allow investigation or arcana.
They are the same. They
Nice.
are the same.
All right, with that 21, you're able to determine that this is, of course, a type of very dense metal akin to lead, with giving off a magical aura. In terms of what it is meant for, it seems to repress. It's like an anti-magic sort of thing, and it represses magic from operating. It's not like an aura, it's just passing through it. So that's why your eyes of the devil, or whatever it's called, they did not work, because it couldn't see through it. It's almost like lead. You'd also know that I think that's about it for now.
Perfect material to make a prison for a mage.
Yeah.
Bet you can't teleport it through it either.
There's many nights of testing ahead.
As we gather to return to the mines, be like, unlike previous versions that you may have encountered with this magics, do be sure to take everything you wish to carry with you, because it will remain here otherwise.
That's kind of handy, though.
I would like to take a quick look for a couple of things in the library.
Oh, in my library,
Yes.
I have that.
I would like to try to look for a children's book, preferably involving mice, and
Diov would definitely have a children's section in at least one of those libraries.
and and then I would like to look for the babysitting / childcare section and try to see if there's any manuals on how to deal with a gargantuan child that is multiple times your size.
That one might be a little bit more difficult to
You
find.
might need to look at the fables section for that one.
Yeah.
Like, you are a gnome and you've recently hooked up with a
Goliath.
Goliath. How to raise your child?
Hopefully, you are not the carrier of the child.
In terms of the books that you do find, let's see. You find the Adventures of Sparklewing, the Fairy. You find Dragonfire and the Lost Treasure, the Magical Menagerie, Tales of Enchanted Creatures, the Sorcerer's Apprentice Academy, the Wishing Stars and Pixie Dust, the Quest for the Rainbow Crystal, the Secret Garden of Talking Animals, the Knight and the Mischievous Imp, the Enchanted Forest Chronicles, and the Mystic Tales from the Unicorn Kingdom.
I'm gonna take the Mystic Forest one.
The Enchanted
choice.
Forest Chronicles.
Is there a little summary in the back of the book? Like, is this gonna be a
Yes.
good will this be a good fit?
Yeah. So in essence, the Enchanted Forest Chronicles is a series of fantasy books or short stories that follows the adventures of a resourceful and independent-minded princess named, this is a tough one, Simorine, Cimorene. Frustrated with the traditional expectations placed on her as a princess, Simorine runs away from her castle and finds herself in a magical and enchanted forest. While lost in the forest, she undergoes a lot of self-development as well as coming of age. It's a coming of age series of stories.
Aw.
Perfect for the monster who's going to destroy something.
All right. Anything else?
That is it.
Cool. All right, you guys exit, and as you exit this area and back into the mines, the first thing that you notice is the sounds of chittering, far off, echoing throughout the mine cavern.
Oh.
Bugs ahead, bug.
Do you now?
Is it down further the way we were headed? As we're hearing the.
Indeed.
It's also the direction of the footsteps.
Indeed.
All right. Are we continuing to satiate our adventuring bone, or what's the plan here?
I mean, we can.
Would it be like a nature check to try and figure out what the chittering is?
Sure.
I'm sure I don't know. My nature's not great, but I don't know.
Could be a lot of things.
Can I just? My nature isn't good either, but can I just try out of curiosity's sake?
Yeah,
The
we're all
DC
just like
is 18.
perfect.
Oh,
Jesus,
absolutely
guys.
not.
It could be anything at this point. You don't know if it like someone dropped a coin that just kind of clanged downward into
It just
the
keeps
depths.
going.
It just keeps going, but like yeah, you hear the chittering sounds.
Alright, well, I figured we've gone this far.
All right, let's go kill some bugs.
All right. Are you proceeding in any way, shape, or form?
I think the same
Same as last time.
formation. Yeah.
Yeah.
What I mean is stealthily.
Oh, yeah. Well, trying. We'll see.
I will
Perfect.
cast invisibility on myself.
All right.
Ooh,
Ouch. Had to crack my neck.
Disguise myself as some rock.
Wait, guide yourself as a rock? What?
Disguise. I was gonna use disguise self.
As
But
a rock?
I realized I don't. Yeah.
A moving
that's-
rock.
that's an average of 12, everyone.
It's
Well-
beautiful.
Fuck yeah.
As you guys continue further, you think, again, you are being stealthy, especially Diov. When Diov accidentally trips, falls, and Archimedes just like really, really loudly as you like kind of pinch his wing and he's pissed off. And at this point in time, you guys feel like a gentle rumbling around your feet as some things emerge from the walls themselves. They look like a type of beetle or cockroach, and they begin swarming your area around you. And there's probably hundreds of them at this point in time, and we're going to need to roll initiative.
Dynamite cockroaches, huh? Sounds
ahead.
like we
They
should
explode.
definitely kill them right up close.
Totally.
Go ahead. Go ahead and roll initiative.
Oh my god. That's my initiative with advantage.
All right. Give me one moment. Almost there.
You know you're off to a slow start when Diov beats you.
All right. Oh, you're talking about initiative. I thought you were talking about me being slow.
No. Diov beating me in initiative.
All right.
Not everything's about you, Jesse.
It should be.
God.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So with each of these swarms, there are about 10 bugs per swarm. So there's roughly 110 individuals. And we're going to add a turn. These little thingies are quite fast. They seem to have wings, and they can glide / fly / like skitter really, really fast. And that's the skittering thing you hear whenever that sound occurs. It's their flattering of wings. And so they have a +6. Ooh, that's pretty good. That's a 25. 25. All right. It is going to be the swarm's turn first. The swarms begin to enter your area, and Bhranti, 3 of them are going to immediately try to bite you. These are +10s. 23 and 28.
Yeah.
As they bite you, there are massive nicks on your ankles and feet, and as you begin to bleed, you can see that they're like sucking in the blood. They're acting kind of like a tick. If a tick didn't like lodge itself into your body, they are sucking the blood out of you, and yeah, it's not a fun time. That was 2 hits, so this is.
I kind of just like look down and I'm like, clearly men.
Clearly men. Ew.
Yeah.
4 points of piercing and 11 points of piercing. 15 points of piercing total.
Got it.
Muad, 1, 2, 3. You don't have anything, but they don't know that.
Give us that delicious oil.
20 and 29, I assume, hit.
Yeah.
All right. Just piercing damage, but again, they expect blood. They do not get blood. You take 18 piercing damage. Diov, you're invisible. They might not even notice you. They're gonna go after.
Sneaky boy.
Yeah, they're gonna go after Kaelor. Oop, that's a 4d20. As they begin poking at Kaelor, that's gonna be 23, 16, and 26.
Oh.
All of them hit Kaelor, or
Wait.
no?
23, 16, and 26. Yeah, those all hit.
All right. 25 piercing damage to Kaelor as they suck in your blood. And then these 2 guys are going to attack Spider. +10. 18 and 12.
Nope.
You're like kicking them away, making sure they're not getting close to you. Spider, these are swarms of cockroach-like beetles. What are you doing?
Can I can I use my sword tip to kind of flick them? Like, I'm not intending to like damage them.
Why
if
not?
it happens, it happens. Well, because you said they were called dynamite.
You don't know that yet.
I saw it on the screen.
That's called metagaming.
Well, okay, fine. I will step on one. How about that?
All right, go ahead and make your attack. Yes, you can make an attack, like an unarmed strike, or you can use your sword or something. Bludgeoning would be best. If you had like a hammer or something. Unarmed strike. As with a 27, you strike one of these swarms, and as you strike it, you deal 4 bludgeoning damage, and you kill like 4 out of the 10 in the swarm. And as you do, they pop. And as they pop, they deal 4 fire damage to you.
Okay, they explode and make fire.
All right. Anything else, Spider? You have multiple attacks.
Okay, how the fuck am I gonna deal with this? Okay, what's an arrow gonna do? Okay, so when they explode, do they hit the other guys in their swarm?
It seems to not affect them.
God damn it. Okay, fine. We're just gonna keep hitting things with unarmed strikes, because...
Alright, 25 points. You take 5 fire damage, and 24... hold on, you only get 4 attacks, right? Not 5
Sorry,
attacks?
I didn't hear the other one go off.
No, that's good. So this first one is gone, but you're gonna take 10 points of damage.
Yep.
And then this one has 3. You're gonna take another 3 points of damage. So 13 total fire damage to you.
Okay.
All right. They are surrounding you at this point. Muad.
Okay.
Well, refrained action. We gotta cast Fire Shield on myself. I don't know why it did damage. Not. So I just have a. That's not the right one. 10-foot radius around me of chill. Chill shield. So whenever a creature within 5 feet of me hits me with a melee attack, they take damage.
Oh. Now, how did you adjust the whatchamacallit? How did you adjust the damage to from fire to cold? Oh, I see fire and cold.
I don't know why it rolled. It shouldn't have.
Okay.
I just have to specify it's either a warm shield or chill shield. So I'm going to say chill shield.
Got it. Got it. All right, cool. Anything else?
That is my action.
Is it concentration?
Yes.
All right, sounds good. Kaelor.
Okay. Ooh, these things are fun. I am going to do a healthy dose of self-preservation and cast mage armor on myself.
Aw.
Sounds good. Anything else?
Yes. Oh, look. There's some shadows under that leaf. I would like to be over there, please.
Misty Step, I assume?
Shadow Walk.
Shadow Walk. Okay, I was gonna say you can't do 2 spells, but Shadow Walk is a feature, I assume?
Yeah.
Then you are good to go, and you can move your token to wherever you think you would be. Remember, you're in a mine, so you just move beyond into the mine. Diov.
All right, I am going to glow invisibly and cast a 5th level magic. So I'm gonna do 2 in a row, starting with these guys right in front of me. Does that kill the first one?
It kills 5 of the 10. You take 5 fire damage. You were attacking this one, I assume. This one does kill the other ones. You take another 5 points of fire damage.
Okay.
And this one is gone.
And then the one above.
Yep. Killed. Hits no one.
Cool. The one to the right of Bhranti.
Okay. 7 points. Bhranti, you take 7 fire damage. Bhranti, you take another 1 point of fire damage. Still not dead.
And then I auto cast a first level magic missile as well. So,
8 points. Bhranti, you take 2 points of damage, and this thing is gone.
and then to the one, let's go left of Spider.
Was that 10 points?
Yep.
You
All
do
right.
realize you're rolling 1d1 plus 1.
Yeah, it's the magic missiles. Oh, that should be D4.
1d
You're right.
plus 1.
Mm-hmm. Gone. Spider, take 7 points of damage, please.
Okay.
All right. And
That's full turn for. I'll just back down a little bit.
all right, Bhranti.
These guys, this one, and this one.
Circle of Eldritch Drain.
You want to drain me? I'll drain you back. This is part of my Arcana grouping. Yeah.
Okay. Is there a save, or does it just happen?
Oh, this is wrong though. Because this level, it should be. Hold 1 second.
I think it's a homebrew spell and it's not properly calculated.
It's not calculated. It should be 3d6.
All right.
So let me roll.
Go ahead and roll 3d6.
And also, I think it's a save for them, but we'll see. There you go. So 14 damage to all 3 of those.
Spider, take 10 points of damage.
Okay.
Each goes drained. Yeah, so they don't get a save. It's just I get to also roll a wisdom save to see if I get to take energy. Yes. So
All
I
right,
take 7 HP.
You lose 20 from these 2 dying.
Meh. So I lose 13.
Correct. All right. Anything else, Bhranti?
No, I think, well, you know what? My dip is looking a little surrounded, so let me 5, 10, 15, 20. Perfect. I will move over here.
All right. You are over there. Anything else?
No, that is it.
All right. Smelling the blood in the air of their fellow companions, they resort to a last-ditch effort. They are going to attach themselves to Muad, or at least attempt to. As they attach themselves to Muad, this group at least, Muad, I'm going to need a Constitution saving throw, please.
Okay. They're making an attack against me, right?
They are exploding themselves.
Oh, God.
As they attach themselves to you, they are trying to burn you out, in essence. You take 33 points of fire damage. And this guy's dead.
Are they dead?
Yes. This
Cool.
one
Okay.
attaches to Bhranti. Bhranti, make a con save.
Can somebody roll a d20 plus 11 for my con?
Fail. You take 18 points of damage. I will mark it on your character sheet and roll 20.
Thank you.
And these guys are dead. And then these guys are going to attach to Muad again. Roll a con save, please.
Not good.
You take 22 points of fire damage. All right. As they explode, the one thing that you notice as things become quiet again, the sections of the earth that these things came out of, pieces of that mysterious metal, fragments, shards, little things of the vein, are also coming out of these little holes that these beetles have burrowed out of.
I'm sorry, did you say fangs were coming out of them?
Of veins, a
Veins.
Veins.
Okay. I was like, oh my god, the ground's the monster.
You know, the metal that you guys had a really hard time extracting, you find little pieces and filaments and dustings of that metal all around the holes that these creatures emerged from,
They can burrow through.
potentially implying that they can burrow through it. Yes.
Do they have like pincers or stuff on their, like the front of them?
Yeah, it looks like pincers and as well as a very, very hard. Well, they exploded, so actually you wouldn't be able to really investigate.
I mean, they didn't incinerate, right? They just exploded. So there's got to be chunks of them we could piece something.
Sure, there's chunks. There are definitely chunks around. Go ahead and give me an investigation check. You gotta piece one together to the best of your ability. Maybe even a medicine check too.
Somebody else should probably roll this. I'm just gonna throw it at them.
Is that because you're smoking and don't have access to roll?
Correct. And also outside with the dog. Thank you very much.
You have good reception on your headpiece. With that 20, you are able to determine that yes, their headpiece looks to be almost made out of the exact same material as that metal.
We gather up all the beetle heads we can. We're gonna make bank.
They are very small, but certainly you gather up quite a few. We'll say for the sake of this, you're able to find at least 50 beetle heads, and you put them into a baggie of some sort. All right.
Sorry. Are they also deceptively heavy?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, cool. Well, this is fascinating. If anything, it'd be a pretty necklace.
A heavy necklace.
Like a necklace / weapon.
Do the two of you want to freshen up your wounds before we move on, or are you happy with where you are?
I'll survive.
I should be fine.
Okay. You guys turn around and continue heading downward into the mine, following the tracks of whatever creature these lizard-type individuals left. And we will continue on next week in our epic adventure.
Hey, gotta add to the tally.
True. You gotta spread the right.
All right. Thank you, anyone who is listening. We appreciate it. That was very exciting. I don't even know what to say. The book that you found in Diov's thing, that was like, thank you, ChatGTP, for that prompt, because I was not prepared for another book, but that was great. And then, we have a Discord. Please join our Discord and like and subscribe and whatnot.
Do the YouTubey thing.
One more time.
Do the YouTubey thing.
Do the YouTubey things. All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night.